Back with more photos from the Doug's Dirt Diary archives. Literally hundreds of thousands of photos that we have from all that time that we took photos back in the Doug's Dirt Diary day. We're here at Utica Rome Speedway, our first year of doing photos, and this was fairly early in the year. This was April 29th. It was a Sunday, and Utica Rome Speedway was the place to be. Of course, I'm not sure who was running it here on Sunday. I'm pretty sure it was still Gene Cole, because I do have a photo of Gene, myself and Gene, in this bin. But, it was a typical Sunday, right? It's cloudy and it's wet, so that seemed to be the way it was every Sunday. Who's that good-looking guy getting ready to head into the racetrack? So gave the camera to somebody there, and of course, I'm with the sunglasses, I'm cooler than I actually am. So I'm just a fan with a camera and a broadcasting background. So here we come through the gates, getting ready to see some folks in the pit area. Andy Bacchetti, of course, early, not even in his suit at this point. And notice the hauler behind him, Dave Camara, was racing back at this time. And, of course, he's back again as well. Ivan Jocelyn making his way through the pit area. Alan Johnson's car right here. See, Gus Schmidt was still racing then. That's his number 30 backing out. And, of course, Willie Decker in the yellow 1X back behind him. And this is right down in turn one. You'd come off the racetrack towards the left. And as you can see, it's pretty wet here on this day, but they had the track packed in pretty good here at Utica Rome Speedway for what would be a very fun Sunday on what would be a very tacky racetrack. As we can tell here, Bobby Varon walked out of his shoes. Remember, that used to be the thing when I started in 1990. You hardly ever saw dust at racetracks, and I remember one time going to Victory Lane, I always walked around with my shoes untied, and I walked right out of them, and it was actually at Utica Rome, as a matter of fact, right on the front stretch back in the early 90s. Going through some pre-race tech here with the Andy Bacchetti car, making sure everything looks good. Todd Burley, I saw him at the Racers Auction and Trade show. He's still making a lot of stuff, valve covers and things like that, so still in the business, although not racing anymore. Love that turn one grandstand at Utica Rome. It's tall. It's really nice, great view, and really feel safe in that. Hey, happened to catch Roger Phelps at a rare moment, probably there with his son. How you doing, Roger? He won his share of races out at Utica Rome Speedway back in the day. Larry White, John White, Pat Ward in the middle. And yeah, this was 2007, so you figure this was 17 years ago now. So look how young Larry looks, because he was. That's just the way that it is. Jeremy Vunk's crew here, Jeremy and his crew. I believe that's Jeremy on the right, but I'm not positive. I haven't seen you in a while, Jeremy. Sorry about that. IMCA Modifieds were here on this night, too. Now, this is kind of behind 1 and 2, looking to the south towards the main gate is where this is taking place. Kevin Cook's the IMCA Modified at the bottom there. And I believe that was A.J. Romano in the 15 up there. And look at that. This was back when they were really bowing those windows out. And you can see how these things work. You can see how important air is. Get that in there, push down on that panel, even with this lip right here. It really does help get these things planting. Of course, they weren't planting like they were today back in 2007. Brett Belden just had a big wreck at Port Royal last weekend. First of all, glad you're okay, Brett, and hopefully the car will be okay and back to the racetrack very, very soon. Another guy that I know, I feel so bad. Great looking stock car. He was a regular, I believe, at Utica Rome. Ryan Phelps must have turned the flash on by accident for this one here. You can see this is back when they first started with the Schrader valves and being able to adjust your shocks with air pressure. That was right after this became a thing. Here's Stuart Friesen driving for the old Forge Power Sports people. I got to find that bin. We went up there and had some fun with some snowmobiles one day. Miss you guys. It was nice to have them in racing. Drivers meeting time, of course, so we're getting ready to get things going here at Utica Rome Speedway. George Valente. Hey, George, how we doing? Funny story with him. We were going over to his garage to hang out, and my buddy called it George's place. I thought it was a restaurant. Turned out it's a shop, and man, it's a nice shop you got out there, George. I got to get out and see him, and Paul Darby and everybody else from out that way, Dave Farney, all those guys. Miss you guys, and can't wait to get back out. This is looking from turn 2 out the backstretch. There you get a better idea of what we're looking at right there. And this was when the stock cars were changing. IMCA Modified, you know me. Any chance to get up close to the cars, I'm going to do it. Danny Varon here. Love the old Dover brake suit. Dover Dave, we miss you, man. Brett Belden doing a little bit of work on his car. I always liked that they could stand inside these things and work a little bit. It makes it easier on the back, I would imagine. Alan Johnson is always cool as a cucumber before the race, checking out the latest edition of Area Auto Racing News. At least I think that's what it is. Pretty sure. Of course, Gator was around then too, so it could have been a Gator. John Ramsey does a lot of body work these days on antique cars. Pretty smart guy. And of course, he was a longtime Utica Rome campaigner. Billy Chantel Jr. liked the makeshift table because racing is all glamour, guys. You know it. You're sitting on a tire on a makeshift table, eating a burger and fries in the pit area. It's all glamorous. All glamorous. National anthem time is it's time to go. Some good patriotic folks standing for the national anthem. And here we go with heat races. And you can see that's Stuart Friesen leading out front. And that's why I like this. This is from that Turn 1 grandstand. If you've never sat in that at Utica Rome, it's a wonderful view. Tough view, though, for Todd Burley as he ended up over the top here. And I think he's going to let somebody know about it as he's out there to say hello to somebody. So I love that face after the race, like, oh, geez, what have we gotten ourselves into? Willie Decker got his car pretty dirty out there on the racetrack. Jeremy Wilder. I haven't seen Jeremy in a while. I hope you're around still, Jeremy. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going well for you. Pat Ward, of course. Love the photo, love the face. It's always good to get in there and see him. And as you can tell, they had a little bit of track work to do on this night. So Dave Camara talking with John White about that as they're doing a little bit of work. And this, you could tell they started all the way at the top. So they had must have been a tough go in some of those early races for them to do that. AJ Romano, and that's Skip. Good to see you, Skip. Miss you too, man. And of course, always have to get photos with two of my best friends right here that I basically watched them grow up. Ashley Belden is on the left. She was Miss Wolf's Head for a while at the racetrack when she was like 5. And of course, Carrie Flock, now Carrie Bauer, on the right side of the screen. She was selling 50-50 tickets with Bridget Wetmore back in the early 90s. So it was nice to see them. Mel Thomas got that Swisher Sweet going up on top of the deck and shooting some video. And, of course, the man, Gene Cole, right here. Gene, we hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope your health, you and your wife and the whole family, hope you guys are doing well. As track was now re-groomed and ready to go, and it was time to get back to racing. Brett Belden ended up getting the win in the stock car feature. This picture I like right here. And that's Matt Burdick, by the way, who was the flagger out there. Working in education now. He's out of racing altogether, but I like that photo. I thought that was like suitable for framing right there. And of course, anybody who remembers IMCA Modifieds and winning drivers remember Sean Lias. This guy won a lot of races back at the day, and he was the winner here at Utica Rome. Make sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications, all that cool stuff. We'll be back with more things tomorrow. Hopefully we're able to get in the studio these past couple days, get some things done. But I wanted to spend some time with Dad this weekend, watch some NCAA, so we've been doing a lot of that. So you guys, you take care. Hope you're having a great Sunday, and be sure to come back for more tomorrow.